Namaste children. Total force acting perpendicular to the surface is called as thrust or normal force. The normal force is known as thrust. The SI unit of thrust is also Newton. Now what is pressure? Hold a pencil in your hand and just press it. What will happen? Wherever the nook is there a depression occurs in the finger. Both the fingers. When you compare, the depression is less in the thumb finger rather than it is more in the point finger. So pressure is equals to force by area, or pressure is equals to thrust by area mathematically. And if the area is less, there will be more pressure. If area is more, pressure will be less. So pressure is inversely proportional to area of contact. In day-to-day life, we will be piercing the nail from the point end rather than nail head. Give a think about the forces you see in daily life. Pushing a box, which is the force by the box in downwards. Now piercing a nail into the wooden plank. Then when you are hitting, the total force whatever you are applying is acting perpendicularly onto the table. So the perpendicularly acting force is known as thrust. What will be its SI units? SI unit of thrust is nothing but Newton, since thrust is equals to force. Now, actually when you are sitting on the sofa also, a depression occurs. Now what is pressure? Mathematically thrust by area. Now press a pencil with your forefinger, point finger and the thumb. Now observe the depression on the thumb and the forefinger. You can observe the deeper depression in case of forefinger rather than on the thumb finger, or index finger is more deeper rather than the less depression in case of thumb finger. Walking with your feet on the sand and lie down on the sand, in which case more depression in the sand will be occurred. When you observe, the depth by walking will be more rather than the lying on the sand. Pressure mathematically is force by area. Definition is thrust per unit area. Now when you are observing in the other these, when area is more, the force is less, and when area is less, thrust applied is more. So pressure is directly proportional to 1 by area. In all the two cases, when you are observed with forefinger and the thumb depression is less, since the area which is pressed by the pencil is more. In case of the less area, it is applying force on the index finger, so more pressure is applied on the index finger more. Same way, when you are walking, the leg of contact with the sand is less. When you are lying down, the area of contact is more. So though when you are walking, more pressure you are applying, so the sand depth will be more when you are lying on the sand. Area is inversely proportional to the pressure, or pressure is inversely proportional to the area. What is the SI unit? Force is Newton and area is meter square. So pressure is 1 Newton per 1 meter square, which is known as Pascal. Now we have studied about downward force. Now when you are observing in the fluids, what will be that thrust? When you are in the water, you will feel that whatever body is inside the water or holding glass or a container, it is weightless. Why it is weightless? When you are taken it out, it will be seems to be having some weight. outside the fluid and inside the fluid, what is the difference? Because when you are pushing it into water, then the glass will be experiencing an upward force which is known as upthrust or buoyant force. It applies less force than the water applies more force on the bottle, so it is light and comes up even though you are pushing it inside. So now push the bottle deeper inside and you can feel the force against your hand. When you leave, the bottle comes up again. So the upward force increases with the depth. Why? Since the pressure increases. Now, what is the mass of objects? What do you mean by mass? Mass is nothing but the total matter content of any object or any material is known as mass. That means the total number of molecules present in an object is known as its mass. So, when this mass is under the influence of gravity, it is known as weight. So, the force of gravity depends partly on the mass of an object. So, the force of gravity depends upon the mass of an object partially. So, mass is nothing but the total matter content of any object, and it is measured by a beam balance or a table balance. Weight is a measure of force of gravity on an object. It is the force of gravity which is acting on the mass of a object. That is, when the mass is under the influence of force of gravity, then it is called as weight. That is, when the mass of any object is under the influence of gravitational force, it is called as weight of the object. Objects are attracted towards the center of the planet by the force of Earth's gravity. That is gravitational force, which is the weakest force. And on other planets also, the force of gravity, it may be more or less than the Earth. Because we are on the Earth, we have taken the gravitational force of Earth as unique when you consider, and comparing with this, the force of moon, gravitational force of moon will be 1/6 that of the Earth. So our weight also will be 1/6 of that of the weight on the Earth. Same way, when you are going to Sun, our weight will be 12 times greater than the weight of our body on the Earth. This is, we are on the Earth, we will be comparing with the Earth, since the gravity of Sun is 12 times greater, whereas the gravity of the Moon is 1/6 of that of the gravity of the Earth. And weight is measured by spring balance. The unit of mass is kgs, whereas weight is kg weight. Since it is one type of force, you can write it as also Newton. Now, what is pressure? Pressure is the force is nothing but the downward force which is exerted by a body on the surface of another body to a particular area is known as pressure. Force is acting in downward direction, that it or towards the ground perpendicularly, it is called as downward force or thrust. So it decreases when the area of contact increases, and it increases when the area of contact decreases. So mathematically, pressure is thrust by area, the ratio of thrust by area. or thrust per unit area is called as pressure. So when you compare the quantities, pressure is directly proportional to the thrust, whereas pressure is inversely proportional to the area of contact. That means when pressure increases means thrust also, the applied force also more. When force is more, applied force is more, pressure is more. When applied force is less, pressure will be less. When area of contact for this normal force is more, then pressure is less. When area of contact is less, pressure is more. Formula of pressure is force by area. This is the perpendicular force acting on the surface area. So area of contact, and this is the force which is acting perpendicular to the surface. So force acting per unit area of any object is known as pressure. So pressure is equals to force by area. Now what are the SI units? The SI unit of pressure is, since it is force is designated by Newton and area is meter square, it is Newton per meter square, and it is also known as Pascal after Blaise Pascal. Now with a small activity with example, how the area of contact, what is the relation between the area of contact and pressure. Now in the diagram it is showing two knife and a dull knife. They are in contact with the surface. So when you observe, which will cut more efficiently and why? The sharp knife cuts more efficiently than the dull knife because the sharp knife exerts a large pressure on the surface since the area of contact is less. So when area of contact is less, more pressure will be applied on the surface. Bags will have large stripes where you are wearing on the shoulder in order to reduce the pressure, because larger stripes will have large area of contact with the shoulders, whereas if it is sharp it will give more pressure, and the impact of that force and pressure will be high on the shoulder, which will give the pain. Now what is atmospheric pressure? Atmospheric pressure is applied by the air. The force per unit area exerted against the surface by the weight of an air column above its surface is known as atmospheric pressure. The pressure at a point increases as the weight of the air above it goes on increasing. If the at the point decreases if the weight of the air above it decreases. So if this air column increases height above this unit area, it will be gives more pressure, and if this air column goes on decreasing, it gives less pressure. This is one day-to-day application. In case of porters, they will be putting their towels surrounding their head in order to decrease the pressure and to increase the area of contact of luggage on their head. Well, definition of air pressure. Air pressure is the weight of the air molecules which are pushing down on the earth. The earth's atmosphere is pressing against us with a force of 14.7 pounds per square inch. So what does that mean? Imagine a 1 inch square cube column air. This column of air stretching from the edge of the earth's atmosphere to the ground and weighs 14.7 pounds. When you reduce the pressure how the pressure is working in day-to-day life. This is the ink pot. Have more tires. Why? In order to increase the area of contact with the ground. The wheels to the bags, dragging in order to increase the area of contact, so that in order to decrease the pressure applied. Now some of the day-to-day applications of pressure. Some other applications, atmospheric pressure applications, how we are able to drink the water from the coconut or juices by sucking the air in the straw, so that the atmospheric pressure outside will be more, so it will be forcing the coconut water or juice into the straw and it continuously coming into the mouth. Same way pistons, pressure, how siphon works, syringes, you are pulling the syringe, then the water goes inside, and when you are pressing it, since low pressure is created inside, outside atmospheric pressure is more, which helps in pushing the water into the syringe. When you are pulling the piston out, what will happen? The low pressure is created.
An instrument called manometer is used to measure liquid pressure. It consists of a glass U-tube fixed to a stand with a scale. It is half filled with water. One end of the U-tube is open. The other end is attached to a thistle funnel through a flexible tube. The mouth of the thistle funnel is covered with a tight, thin rubber skin. When the thistle funnel is kept in the air, only atmospheric pressure acts on it. This is equal to the pressure acting on the open end of the U-tube. Therefore, the water levels in the two sides of the U-tube remain the same. Dip the thistle funnel in a bucket of water. Now, the liquid pressure acts on the rubber skin. As the liquid pressure on it increases, the water level in A will go down and in B will go up. The difference in water levels can be read on the scale. This is a measure of the pressure
from all the directions. This envelope of air around us is what we call atmosphere. Does air also exert pressure on objects on the earth? In our previous video, we studied that the liquid exerts pressure in all directions. For example, here we have the water in a beaker. Due to gravity, this water is pulled down towards the earth. If we divide this water into different layers, then each layer is being pulled down by the earth. Due to this pull, water exerts downward pressure and this pressure is uneven throughout. That is, the bottom layer experiences more pressure than the top layer. This is because the weight of water above the bottom layer is more, and the pressure decreases as we go upwards. In fact, we saw that the water exerts pressure in all directions and not only in the downward direction. One more thing that we studied about the liquid pressure is that at any point in a liquid, the pressure is the same in all directions. That is, if I take any point here in this water, the pressure exerted by water here is the same in all the directions. Air also behaves in the same way. Just like water, air is also being pulled down by the Earth's gravitational force. This force applies pressure on the air in the downward direction. The pressure exerted by air is called air pressure or atmospheric pressure. Take a table with the upper surface of 1 by 1 meter. The pressure exerted by the air on the table in the downward direction is greater than 1 lakh pascals. This is equivalent to 10 cars being put on this table. Yes, 10 cars. I know what you must be thinking. Why doesn't this surface collapse under this huge pressure? How does it handle such massive pressure acting down on it? A little while ago, we said that the pressure exerted at points above the Earth's surface is equal in all directions. So the pressure at every point on the table is the same in all the directions. That is, if downward pressure is pushing the table surface with a great force, then the upward pressure is also pushing it in the upward direction with the same force. Both the forces are balanced and the table does not collapse. As I said, pressure is not only acting in these two directions, it is acting on the surface in all the directions. Pressures acting in opposite directions cancel each other out. Here is one cool experiment that you can also perform at home. Take a plastic bottle filled with water. Take a cardboard paper and place it on the open end of the bottle like this. Hold this paper with your hand so that it does not move from its position and invert the bottle. Now let go of the paper. What did you see? The cardboard paper sticks to the surface. Why is it held to the surface? It is held to the surface because of the air pressure that is pushing the paper in the upward direction. The upward air pressure is sufficient to counter the downward push exerted by the water. Now make few holes in the bottle at its base. What happens now? Why did the paper fall off? Did the upward pressure on it stop acting or did it reduce in the value? No, it didn't. The upward pressure on it by the air remains the same, but the downward pressure increased in its value. When we made holes in the bottle, we allowed air to flow inside it from the top. The air from the top started exerting pressure on the water. The combined pressure of water and air from top could easily overcome the pressure exerted by air from the bottom. Hence, there is net force acting on the paper in the downward direction. That is, there is more pressure in the downward direction. That is the reason why this paper gets detached from the surface. A wooden block kept on a table exerts a force on it, and we know that the wooden block is a solid substance. What about liquids? We know that liquids are kept in containers. Do liquids or fluids exert pressure? Yes, they do. They exert pressure on the base and the walls of the container in which they are enclosed. The pressure on the base will be downwards, and on the walls the pressure will be sidewards. We can also derive something interesting if we look at the fluid in terms of layers. Say there's water kept in a plastic container. Let's divide the fluid into 5 equal parts. You can see that the second layer of water is holding the weight of the first layer. Similarly, the third layer is holding the weight of the first as well as the second layer. And the fourth layer is holding the weight of the top 3 layers, and so on and so forth. So clearly, the pressure at the bottommost layer is the maximum. There's even a way you can find this out. Near the topmost layer, make a little hole at the side. You'll see that the water flows out from that hole like this. It doesn't roll along the walls, it flows out at an angle. Now let's make a second hole near the layer under it. You'll see that the water flows out at a wider angle as compared to the earlier case. We continue to make holes in the wall and we'll notice that the water literally squirts out. This proves that the pressure at the bottom is much more than the pressure at the topmost layer.